everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to Hi everyone. I'm Walter here from business development at BNB Chain. I will give a short introduction on BNB Chain gaming, and then subsequently John will hand over to talk more about two amazing games that's going to be on BNB Chain. So myself, I'm from business development at BNB Chain. I have a key focus in Web3 gaming. Sharing some observations, I think many of you gamers out there would have noticed where BNB Chain gaming has evolved a lot. So for the past 2 to 3 years, from very casual games, simple games, all the way to huge diversity in the different genres. We have role-playing games, we have battle royales, we have shooter games. As a gamer, I'm very excited. Today is the first of our series where we will showcase gameplays with gamers of BNB Chain to show how the game can be fun, and then Web3 gamers can strive towards having fun and then also earning valuable assets from the games at BNB Chain. So without further ado, John, my teammate here who has been working closely with me to build the gaming scene at BNB Chain, let me introduce him, and then subsequently he'll introduce the two amazing projects with us. So John, please introduce yourself and please take it away.
Hi guys. This is John from business development team at BNB Chain. Thanks for the intro, Walter. And we have two amazing AAA games building on top of BNB Chain with us here to showcase their game. They are Saraf and Megalink. In this game on BNB episode, we'll dive into learning about their gameplay, blockchain integration, and also their game philosophy. And what's better way to do this than live streaming? We'll start firstly with Saraf and then to Megalink. But before we hop into the stream session, we'd love to hear like quick intro about yourselves and your project. Maybe we can start with Louis from Saraf.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Walter and John, for the introduction for this space. And of course, for our community in Saraf, you guys already know me, but for those who does not, I am Louis from the Saraf team, and I've been part of the team members since day one. So for the introduction of our game really is that, as you can see in our socials, Saraf is actually a AAA ARPG game developed by Saraf Studio. And we have been developing since Q4 of 2021, and we are been proudly doing game tests since Q1 of 2023. And we've been developing this game with the intention to bring a Web2 kind of standard of gaming to the Web3 industry, and we are very, very glad to be able to do that kind of approach and that kind of introduction of Seraph in the Darkness with the BNB Chain team, especially with Walter, who is the BNB, I think, business developer for the Web3 gaming industry in part of BNB Chain. So that's going to be the quick introduction, but I'm looking forward to be able to introduce more of what we are building as we go forward with this live stream.
Thanks, Louis. Could we, Jason, do you want to introduce yourself?
So we're Megalink, and we're based out of Seoul, Korea, and we're excited to, our main focus is integrating Web2 gaming and Web3 gaming, and we're focusing on AAA games, kind of bringing something that's never before seen before in Web3 gaming. So we're pretty much excited. I think our presentation will kind of speak for itself on what we've prepared. And, we hope that everyone here enjoys, what we have to bring and what we're developing. And we're excited to work with BNB Chain, of course, and, do all these partnerships. So we hope you enjoy.
Sounds good. I think we can move right to the stream for Saraf. Maybe, Louis, do you want to kick off?
Yeah, thank you, John. So before I start, I'm just going to be, again, giving you guys a more thorough introduction of what Saraf is before I really showcase to you what the gameplay looks like. So this would allow you to really put into mind on what we are building in terms of statements before I really showcase to you the gameplay that we have designed for everybody to enjoy. So first of all, like I've mentioned before, Saraf is an ARPG game, and we've been developing for a long time. But the gameplay really focuses on being able to have this dark loot mechanics with cutting-edge features like AI companions. We also have this MMO-style kind of multiplayer gameplays. And of course, we are trying to develop, or not really trying to develop, but trying to perfect a player-driven marketplace here in Saraf. So aside from that, we also have this offering of unique blend of immersive gameplay. I think that's one of the important things that we really need to see in games. And of course, the open economic systems. So like I've mentioned before, some of our key features within the game is the AI integration, which allows us to be able to enhance the gameplay with your AI companions so that they would be able to assist you in both combat and strategy. And we also have this MMO elements for us to really have this dynamic multiplayer team ups, which a lot of players or users within Web3 are actually looking forward to. And of course, aside from the open economy, we have a really diverse hero classes and epic boss battles that allows you to really choose on different kind of hero classes and build it in a different kind of build, whether that's going to be terms in magic, physical damage, summoning, and others. So this allows you to have a very unique play style and allows you to have your skills be tested, especially in challenging boss encounters. And that's going to be the too long didn't read version of the introduction of Saraf in Darkness. So I think we can move forward with the gameplay. All right, so I think there's some issues with with the live stream, so please wait a moment as we deal with it.
By the way, you guys are killing it in BNB Chain.
Yeah, thank you. And it's an honor to really build something this great of a game in a great chain as well. So I think it's going to be a win-win for both Saraf and the BNB chain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're just dealing with some kind of technical issues, but we will try to have this live stream up and running in no time. So please do wait for a moment, and we do apologize for the inconvenience, but it should be able to be fixed anytime soon.
I think you can try re-uploading
Yeah.
it. If
Right.
It works now.
So
yeah.
for this round, yeah, we're going to be using our Necromancer, one of my favorites, and we're going to be doing a Void Realm run. And this is going to be one of the many dungeons in Seraph. And in here, we're going to be able to loot Seraph or the soul crystals, which we can collect. And then after that, convert them to an NFT, and we may use them for in-game purchases or on-chain trading. So as we finish this loading screen, I'm going to be showcasing you more of what the game looks like. So here you're going to be able to see on what kind of infos or stats we're going to be able to get with this run. So for example, here the monster levels are on 7 to 8. So the maps really have different kind of stats that we can look into. So some stats are going to be helping you increase the loot drops. Some are going to be more difficult. Some are going to be easier. So we need to look into that. And for this, we are having non-NFT items. So that's going to be really showcasing that this game is free to play and you don't need to use any NFTs to do dungeon runs. And of course, you don't need to do any NFTs to enjoy the game. So if you look here, the items are really great with good stats and good advantages that you can use in game. So I'm just really showcasing to you here, guys, on what the item looks like and what advantages it can give us when we're doing the game runs. So aside from that, we also have the skill tree. So if you look here, we have a different build which focuses on Bone Shadow and Crimson Curse. So this is the build that I'm using on late games. For the early games, I'm using a Summoner build because that's going to be easier on the earlier levels. And here you can see as well the strands, the dex, the vitality, and the energy points that I've used for me to be able to really do runs easier. So I think we can do the runs now. So in here, the way I'm really using the Necromancer on this build is really using this kind of skill to prevent, or to use it as a barrier to prevent people or enemies or monsters to deal physical damage or melee damage to me. Because to be frank, with the build that I'm using right now, it's really easy for enemies with physical damage or physical critical damage to give me huge damages. So for me to prevent that, I really just use this barrier to prevent them from coming near me and hitting me with any physical damage or melee damage. So even if you look at the enemies, they're giving me magical or elemental damages, but the equipment and the build that I use are strong against that. So it's going to be just a strategic gameplay for me to use this as a way to prevent them from hitting me most of the time. But of course, if you guys want to use, for example, if you want to try out the game, you can have several different builds with Necromancer. So I think right now there are 3 metas. That is going to be the Crimson Curse and the Absol, and I don't really know the other one. But if you guys want to have that simple kind of gameplay and then use the summoners to summon skeletons and other kind of Death Legion that you want to use, maybe that's for you. You can try it out, but I suggest that if you're using Necromancer on the level 60 onwards, I suggest you try another build, because in my experience, the Abyssal build is going to be weaker as you get stronger, or weaker as you go to higher levels of enemies. So you can see here there's a lot of drops, and our pet is actually an AI companion, so it allows you to really pick up items without you having to do it manually. So I just need to, since I have full inventory, I just need to find on what I don't need. And our trailer, by the way, is also showcasing the gameplay, so we don't really want to do too much cinematic trailers. We want to really showcase to our users what the game really looks like. So what you see in trailers is what you get in the game. So that's how we're doing it here in Saraf in the Darkness. Oh, I think I can't attack this. It's alright.
This one is the easiest one in the beginning.
Yeah,
when
so
you start the game.
if you're playing from level 1 to level 60, Necromancer is going to be very easy, because you let your legions or summons really do the damages and you just sit back and relax. So that's what I really did with this one. So from level 1 to level 60, I used a different build which focuses on summoning the Death Legion, and then it's really easy from that level 1 to level 60. But I suggest from level 60 to level 80 to level 90 to level 100, you decide to use another build, because that is going to be more difficult for the Death Legion build to play. So that's why in this gameplay right now that I'm doing, I'm really using another build which really focuses on doing a barrier and doing magical and elemental damages to the enemies. So most of the items that I have as well really allows me to have this immunity against elemental damages, but I'm really weak on physical damage. That's why I don't let them go near me, because if they really get near me and then hit me, I think it's going to be taking around maybe 5 to 10 hits, and then I'm dead. So this is the strategy that I'm doing in this build. I use this as a barrier. And if you want, for our viewers as well, we have different other kind of characters. We have the Berserker, which is the melee. We have the Valkyrie, which is using the range or the bows or spears. And we also have a Sorceress, which focuses on a lot of elemental damages. It can also teleport, so if that's something that you like, you can use it. And we have also a new character which we released during this PTR test, which is the Druid. So if you want to be transforming to wolves or to a bear, then that's going to be the build or the character for you. And I think that's going to be, when we looked into the PTR test, one of the famous characters or classes that is being used right now by our players. But for me, I really like Necromancer.
Yeah, I understand why you guys are not using the cinematic footage for trailers, because the game itself tells itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like something that the product speaks for itself, right? That kind of marketing. We could do cinematic trailer, but I think the most effective one is really just showcase to the game, and then so that there's not going to be any kind of expectation versus reality. What you see is already what you get, and I think what people see is already a good thing for them to be able to really decide that, hey, you know what, this game looks good, I want to try it. So that's really the marketing that we're doing. And to be honest, a lot of users from BNB Chain, I think, have had that kind of mindset when we were able to not only showcase it on online events, but also in offline events when they saw our cosplayers during, for example, on the Binance blockchain week. So that was really interesting for me to see.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the one you guys did in Thailand, the cosplay as well. It's
Yeah.
great. You guys are like online, have presence as well, but like offline, try to meet your community and so on.
Yeah, and aside from just allowing players to play the game on offline events, we also let them see the characters themselves via the cosplay. So I think that's one of the interesting things. They're like, oh, look at this cosplayer, so I want to take a picture, and then they get interested to what we have, and then they look into the game. So it's another kind of funneling for people to be interested on the cosplayers and then to the game. So yeah, if you guys see, the build that I'm using is like a life hack. It's just a chill life hack. So if you're using the summoning, it's also chill because you sit down and then your skeleton attacks for you. And then for this build, you use the barrier, so just you won't be attacked by anyone. So either way, these two builds that I really use with Necromancer is very convenient to use, especially if you don't like to keep dodging attacks from enemies. You just put them far away from you and do long range damages. Oh, and by the way, if I haven't shared it yet, for this special dungeon that we're doing, it's called Void Realm. So this is one of the special dungeons that we have in Saraf. So for this dungeon, you get soul spars, which you can, again, if you collect enough, you're going to be able to put them in a box and convert them to an NFT for you to use on-chain. But if you want to use it to buy and sell for equipments in-game, you can do that as well. So that is really for you to decide. And then the other two dungeons are going to be focused on the leaderboard and our other set of NFT collection, which is based on your luck. So if you're a free-to-player or if you're a NFT user, your NFT lot or your NFT loot or drop is going to be based on your luck. And then for the other one, it's going to be for competitive players, which is going to be for the leaderboard. So that's when you get the feather NFTs, which you can use to convert to our token once we go to TGA. So there's really a lot of gameplays that we want to offer to you guys. So if you're competitive, if you're a looter, if you're a PvP, if you're into multiplayer gameplays, you can find all of this in Saraf. So I hope you try it. And by watching this video, I hope you really decide that, oh, you know what? These guys are building something good and we want to try it out. But yeah, so
this dungeon is considered, I guess, like a pretty easy, relatively easier one.
Yeah,
for
so it's really
beginner?
going to depend on the map that you use. So if you remember on what I did earlier, I chose a map that I had from my inventory, and the map have monsters that are below my level, so it's easier. But there are going to be different maps as well that have, for example, saying that the monster level is going to be 100. So that's going to be difficult for me because I'm still level 81. So I really chose this map to really showcase, just to have a showcase that, oh, this is going to be how the game looks like. Because for me, I think I'm going to be dying easy if I use a map that is having enemies of level 100 or above. But yeah, for this mob that I use, it's just level 78 monsters. So it's easy for this one.
I see.
Yeah, so this is the boss. Yeah, this one is
The one
the
that,
one I
okay, I
hate.
see, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a baseball, or no, not the football player. It rushes to you, and then it gives you this kickback. So I hate this kind of boss.
I guess you gotta beat him here in the stream
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping him stuck so that he can come near me. Because if he comes near me and then he hits me with that really attack, physical damage, it's going to be hurting me, like big time. That's why I like this build, because it really allows you to put your enemy far away from you. You trap him there, and you spam him with your elemental damages. And then after you defeat this boss, you get a lot of loots, and then your soul spars, and then you collect them, sell them for items in game, and then do it again and again and again. After that, you collect enough soul spars, you put them in a box, and then mint them on chain. So that's normally what I do with this Void Realm run. See, it's very easy if your enemies are going to be below you. So this is going to be level 78, so it's easy. But if you guys want more challenging maps, then you can also use that, and then challenge level 100 bosses. But of course, you need a lot of items that is going to be helping you on defeating bosses. But yeah, if you look into that, it's quite easy. I'm even playing with Red Ping, 149 MS, 100 MS. So yeah, that's one of the dungeons or special dungeons that we have in Saraf. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay and really enjoyed the strategy that I'm using, because that's the strategy I love.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. The graphics amazing, and also the build character you used. It seems it will fit me because I like those characters that are kind of cheating.
Yeah, that kind of cheating, like you just sit back and relax, and then it's really
Yeah.
easy for players. Yeah, that's really the kind of gameplay, because when I also play the game, I also do other stuff, so I want to be able to relax while playing as well.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Maybe we should. Actually, I did prepare some questions for Saraf,
Right.
and maybe we can have our community learn a little bit more about you guys.
Yes, sure.
I guess like a first question. You guys were voted as #1 game in BNB Chain during 4-year anniversary campaign. What can we expect from Saraf going forward? I know you guys are killing it with our community right now, but what can we expect in end of this year to next year?
Yeah, that was really very exciting for us to be really voted as the #1 BNB, the gaming in BNB Chain. So I already see when we started doing campaigns with BNB Chain or started cooperating with you guys, we really saw the huge support, not only by the BNB Chain team, but also with the BNB Chain ecosystem, as well as the players or the other projects that are building as well in BNB Chain. So thank you. So first of all, thank you for voting us for during the 4th year anniversary campaign. But going forward, there are going to be a lot of things that you guys can expect with us from Saraf. So I think some of those are going to be, for example, we're going to be approaching the season 1. So we have actually just recently finished our PTR test, and we have rewarded or going to be rewarding the players that have really joined us during that kind of phase, which was actually purely test. It had no play to earn mechanism, but we are still going to be rewarding them for really providing us some feedbacks and suggestions. And aside from that, aside from going to season 1, we are also going to be preparing Saraf with TGE as well as the official launch. So, like I've mentioned earlier, we have these Feather NFTs, and these NFTs are like the NFT representations of our tokens, which is yet to launch. So, once we hit TGE, these Feather NFTs are going to be exchanged for the tokens. And then after that, as we hit official launch, well, technically, the game is already playable. There's a lot of gameplays already that players can play with, but we want to use the official launch term because we're going to be having the token. So that means the token are going to be fully integratable to the game and to the ecosystem, and as well as the NFTs. So that's going to be really the term for the official launch. We have a working economic flow system already in Saraf. So after that as well, we're going to be focusing on building a lot of things around the IP of Saraf. So that could be, for example, we're going to be doing seasonal updates. We're going to be doing more changes in the game. So that could range from new characters, that could start maybe from new kind of dungeons, new kind of gameplays, maybe guild versus guild, like we've already been teasing, maybe a land gameplay. And then, of course, as we develop again, we're going to be maybe, as we go forward, develop more games around the IP of Saraf. Maybe it's going to be a trading card game. Maybe it's going to be a chess game. Who knows? But there are going to be a lot of plans that we have been looking into. But we want to do the best that we can when doing this kind of updates. We need to be very careful on doing this kind of future endeavors that we want to explore for Saraf. But the focus will be to really make the game or make the ecosystem better, and doing that alongside our community members. So I think for the short term, that's really going to be what you guys can expect from us. The season 1, the TGE, and then the official launch. Then after that, for the long-term run, it's going to be revolving around building more for the Seraph IP ecosystem. So I hope that question or that answers your question. So yeah, thank you for voting us during the 4th year anniversary to be really showcased as the #1 gaming in BNB Chain.
Yeah, I mean, all the exciting stuffs, TGE, the new NFT collections, and so on. And I also see like you guys are the Feather NFT, I believe, was done in OPBNB. And,
yes, that's right.
I just wanted to maybe you can explain a bit more about like why you guys are utilizing our layer 2, because I think the gaming does fit very well with OPBNB.
Yeah, like you've mentioned, OPBNB is really fit for gaming. For example, when we really did the Feather NFT minting on OPBNB, we're actually expecting a lot of problems that we could get from the minting, because if you guys remember, during the Feather NFT minting, I think for the whole month there were a lot, maybe millions of minting, and aside from that, we also had hundreds of thousands of transfers, like buys and sells of the Feather NFT minting. So we were expecting some technical issues. But to be honest, when we had the Feather NFT minting in OPBNB, we did not only not experience any technical difficulties or issues, but the minting was actually quite fast and it was very cheap. So, like I've mentioned earlier, we've had millions of transactions of just in minting for the Feather NFTs, and no one reported any kind of difficulties of saying, "Hey, I did this kind of transaction and I did not receive anything." we did not receive those kind of complaints. And aside from that, when we were doing the buys and sells, people really didn't have these issues of saying, hey, I had an error transaction when I was doing this kind of huge purchase for the Feather NFTs. So that really showcased that we chose the right chain to have our Feather NFT in, because we did not have any problems in minting. We did not have any problems with buying. We did not have any problems with selling. And aside from that, the gas is really cheap in OPBNB. Like I've mentioned earlier, there's millions and hundreds of thousands of transactions happening on different kind of method INCs or events. And I think, I don't really remember the exact number, but for this millions of events and for the hundreds of thousands of buy and sells, I think the amount of the gas that we only spent were around $800, but I think it's going to be ranging to 1,000, but really not exceeding $1,000. So that's a huge, huge milestone, because not only did we get a lot of UAWs or unique address wallets holding the Feather NFTs, not only did we able to get support from the BNB Chain ecosystem, from the team and from the users, not only did we get this kind of great network in terms of speed and gas fees, but we also were able to get a lot of benefits that OPBNB were able to offer on projects building on the chain, especially in gaming. Because if you really look into it, fast network and cheap gas is one of the important things that you need to look into when you're building on top of chain, especially for gaming. And OPBNB chain was able to provide that. And of course, another one is going to be the support of the ecosystem. And to be honest, BNB, in my opinion, have the best one that we have been able to experience. So those are going to be really the reasons on why we chose OPBNB, especially for our Feather NFTs, because we don't want users to have problems in terms of minting a lot of NFTs, and we don't want them to really spend a lot when they want to be onboarded to our ecosystem. So kudos to you, BNB Chain team, for having this this great layer 1 and layer 2 chains that you have in this ecosystem.
Thank you. We're very humbled to hear that. I think that's all the questions that I prepared for Saraf. Is there any last comment you want to give out to community?
I think one of the last thing that I want to share with you guys, or not really share, but to put note for every listeners that we have, especially for the ecosystem that we have, because there have been a lot of people asking that, oh, since there's going to be a TGE, there might be another NFT collection. So for that, please do be careful about rumors roaming around, especially that if you haven't heard it from the official team member, please consider it as a rumor and please do approach it with caution. But if we're going to be having any other kind of NFT collection, we're going to be sharing that in the right approach, which is going to be through our official announcement channels, may it be in Twitter, Discord, Telegram, or our Medium articles. So please just follow us on our socials and keep an eye on what changes or what updates we're going to be having for you guys, especially that we're approaching the season 1 TGE and official launch. And of course, we're also doing a lot of things in the back end, especially that we're approaching or planning to approach on onboarding players from the Steam marketplace or the Steam ecosystem. So a lot of things are really happening on the back end. So I hope that you guys are going to be part of it before our official launch. And if you do, we welcome you with open arms, and feel free to talk to any members of the team, as we are going to be welcoming you on board to the season 1 gameplay that we're going to be having anytime soon. So again, thank you, Jong, and thank you, Walter, for this amazing space. That because it's another thing to really introduce the game. It's another thing to really showcase the game. So I think this is one of the best live streams that we have had with you guys in BNB Chain. And we thank you again for welcoming us to do this campaign with you guys.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Louis.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, should we invite Jason from Megalink to the stage?
Yes. Hello. Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Good.
Hi, Jason.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good, good. Maybe we can kick off by short intro of Megalink and what you guys are cooking behind the scene and before the stream.
So as we said at the beginning of the stream, we're Megalink. We're a gaming development company, a Web3 gaming development company based in South Korea. And with Megalink, our main focus is trying to merge Web2 gamers and Web3 gamers together using AAA games. So we're trying to bring the fun of the games with the tokenomics of Web3 together. And I think that's our main goal. And hopefully with today's stream, you could get a little more insight on, what we have to bring and what we've been developing for everyone in our audience. So that's pretty much it from us.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Should we go straight into the stream?
Yeah. So we have prepared a little video. So hello, welcome. We are Megalink, leaders in the Web3 gaming space. My name is Jason, and I'm the community lead here at Megalink. On behalf of the entire team, we'd like to welcome you to Megalink's BNB Demo Day. With Web3, Megalink is creating AAA games using the Unreal Engine. Our development team consists of industry leaders with nearly 20 years of experience in game development within Korea. We're ready to shock the market with high-quality games that have never been seen before in traditional Web3. The Megalink platform and games are run with the power of MGA tokens. Based on the Binance Smart Chain, MGA tokens support all transactions and decentralized governance within Megalink. With the game's release will come an advanced earn and burn system that will give MGA a more central role and help it grow for the long term. All right, now is the time that you all been waiting for. Here are the two games that will be onboarded, Hunter's Arena Revolution and the Wild West. These two games are set to redefine the GameFi landscape within the BNB chain. Let's take a look at the Wild West first.
Vengeance is the restoration of honor. Alexander Dumas. Butch Cassidy was arrested. What's this Lloyd's doing again? Son of a bitch! I'm gonna kill him.
Hey, calm down. There are sheriffs positioned everywhere. Let's stay low for now. Who are you?
If I must say, I guess I can be called a professional rat cleaner. I took care of those rat bastards for you. How about that? Did you like it?
What a nutcase! Why are you here?
Don't worry. I'm planning a fun show. Are you interested?
The Wild West.
Guns and honor. Very good.
The bounty is yours.
The Wild West will be coming to you in 2025. Now I'd like to introduce you to Hunter's Arena Revolution, which will be entering its preseason very soon.
"2021 Hunter's Arena Legends." Witnessing the fierce battle of 12 million users, we searched for a way to create the greatest reward for the survivors of this violent battlefield. The evolution of Hunter's Arena and Web3 gaming.
안녕하세요. 헌터스 아레나 레볼루션을 맡고 있는 PD 김현성입니다. 과거 헌터스 아레나 레전드가 오픈 초기 많은 관심을 받아 1200만 다운로드를 일으킴으로써 유저분들이 헌터스 아레나 레전드에 대한 기대감이 얼마나 대단했는지 엿볼 수 있었습니다. 그 이후 저희는 헌터스 아레나라는 IP를 가지고 새로운 시장에 도전을 하게 되었습니다. 과거에는 웹3 게임이라고 하면 웹2 게이머들 사이에서는 어찌 보면 와닿지 않는 좀 좋지 않은 시선들이 있었습니다. 그래서 우리는 어떻게 하면 많은 풀을 가지고 있는 웹2 게임 시장과 무한한 성장 가능성을 가지고 있는 웹3 게임 시장을 자연스럽게 융합시킬 수 있을지에 대한 고민을 시작하였습니다. 그 답을 찾기 위해서 많은 시간과 노력을 쏟아부었고 이제 그 결과를 눈앞에 두고 있습니다. 웹3 요소들이 접목되어 새롭게 탄생한 우리 헌터스 아레나 레볼루션을 여러분들께 선보이시게 되어 매우 기쁘게 생각합니다. 이번에 선보이는 헌터스 아레나 레볼루션에서는 전작 레전드의 약 200년 후의 모습을 담고 있습니다. 동양 판타지 모습을 최대한 그대로 남기려고 노력했고요. 전작의 주인공 중 일부는 살아남아서 헌터스 아레나 레볼루션에 등장합니다. 헌터스 아레나 레전드와 레볼루션은 바라보는 목적이 조금 다릅니다. 과거 헌터스 아레나 레전드에서는 살아남는 최후의 1인이 주 목적이었다면 헌터스 아레나 레볼루션에서는 치열한 전장 안에서 생존하며 탈출하기까지가 주 목적이며 그 안에서 긴장감 그리고 다양한 파밍, 다양한 재미를 직접 느껴보실 수 있을 것입니다. 그럼 얼리 액세스 때 뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Hunter's Arena is an action extraction game where users will have to survive and escape from the battlefield. Those who survive can gain a lot, but those who die or fail to escape will lose everything. As you search for treasures, keep an eye out for enemies on the battlefield as they will likely be searching for the same treasures. With no time to relax, you must be confident in your skills to defeat all the enemies and become the winner of the battlefield. You can also strategically lure enemies to take advantage. However, what matters most is surviving and escaping. Escape, survive, and extort. The expansive map of Hunter's Arena is filled with the delicate beauty of the Orient. Utilizing the many features of Unreal Engine 4, we created an ancient world that is realistic yet filled with fantasy. There are beautifully detailed forests, a multitude of buildings to explore, and majestic ruins of war scattered throughout. Secret locations and hidden areas are also available to satisfy your explorer instincts. There are areas where rare resources can be found along with hidden treasures. However, you must be careful as behind the beauty of these places, enemies may be lurking to attack. Character design was another aspect that we worked hard on. Divided into male and female leads, these live-action characters perform martial arts moves through motion capture animation. Fortunately, your characters were born to fight and navigate the rugged battlefield. With various weapons and skills at hand, you can fight with a multitude of weapons in strategic combat. Survive with weapons and skills tailor-made for each situation that may arise. The skins in the game are what will make your character stand out. Consisting of 3 parts, these skins will continuously be updated to make your character more unique. Hunter's Arena Revolution is an action-oriented game from which you can enjoy movie-like dynamic action with your hands. Characters can launch basic attacks with their bare hands and various weapons. You can also use the skills required before entering the battlefield against your own enemies. If you encounter an enemy who is focused on farming and looting, you can take advantage by sneaking up with a surprise attack. Actions using lines to attack can also be performed. By combining all of these skills and attacks, you can defeat your enemy once and for all. Hunter's Arena Revolution is a BNB-based Web3 game, so it comes as no surprise that a P2E feature is included. You can earn utility tokens by simply running the extractor that can be found in the lobby. However, fuel and material will be required to run it, and they can be acquired by playing the game. The more you play, the more you can acquire. In addition, tokens can be obtained through various rankings and seasonal rewards. The utility tokens earned in-game can be converted into MG8 on the web. Conversely, you can convert MG8 into utility tokens as well. If you want to start the game with an advantage over others, it's worth giving it a shot. Goods can be easily exchanged in the Web3 game Hunter's Arena Revolution. Using the in-game currency exchange, you can exchange game money for utility tokens and vice versa. Any fees incurred during this process will automatically be burned in the system. If you die in the game, all your items and equipment will be dropped, and any item or equipment not taken by another party will automatically be burned as well. Be careful, or you could become a victim of the ecosystem. Hunter's Arena Revolution is a game that does its best to balance earn and burn. Taking advantage of our experience, we created a GameFi model for long-term development. All of our Web3 systems are BNB based. Using the core technologies of BNB and OPBNB allows us to provide cheaper gas rate services and a much higher throughput. This results in a massive multiplayer online game that also offers a fast network for many transactions. Swap fee being so low, it will be a huge benefit for you all. Hunter's Arena is a game that offers amazing gameplay with many benefits. But don't worry, as we did not forget all those who are new to the game that may want to play. A beginner zone will be operated up to level 6, with safety slots available just in case. Even those who are not familiar with the game can easily adapt and enjoy it. Megalink has prepared a demo day invite event that anyone can participate in. After the end of this broadcast, you'll be able to play Hunter's Arena Revolution immediately. To get a head start, you can visit the community linked here and apply right now. To play Hunter's Arena Revolution on Steam, you can simply log into your Steam platform and search for the game. Click on the playtest button to begin the download of the game. The same goes for Hunter's Arena Revolution on the Epic Games platform. As it is an event, there will be many goods, so it's a perfect environment for you to practice on without the burdens of the learning curve. Don't forget about the MG8 airdrop event that's going on as well. During the playtest period, you'll be able to enjoy both an in-game event and an airdrop event, so be sure to check out our official community channels for more details. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the battlefield.
That was great. That was great. It was really high tension video as well.
We're glad you liked it. Yeah, that's what we're kind of aiming for, because, you know, the main part or aspect of the game is kind of an extraction genre. So we wanted to bring that tension where you're always kind of tense and, you know, wanting to kind of keep playing and, you know, strive for something in the game.
Yeah, if you die, you're the victim of the ecosystem.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like, I actually prepared some questions for you guys as well. I think we can dive right into it.
Sure.
When's the official launch for the game?
지금 저희 개발은 막바지 다 돼서 늦어도 한두 달 이내에 오픈.
So right now we're pretty much working on last minute things such as the optimization of the game, and as you saw in the video, the skin updates and things like that. So we're kind of calling it, like, at this moment in time, a fun Q&A. But the game is pretty much complete and ready to launch, but we're trying to coordinate the schedule with in terms of the Web3 business strategy. So as we mentioned earlier, we're doing our best to prepare the balance of the earn and burn with the realization of healthy tokenomics. And as you may know, the market's doing pretty well at the moment, and our MGA token is growing with the market as well. So we kind of hope to set concrete dates to share with everyone in the near future. But with that being said, our main goal or our aim is towards the end of this month or next month at the earliest for the launch for Hunters Arena.
Sounds
and the
good.
Wild West is it hasn't been set in date, but we're trying to strive for sometime in 2025.
Okay, a Hunters Arena list, like, we can see very soon.
Yeah.
I think it's also a game that requires like high spec computers, and
Yeah.
I think it's also important to appeal its features. What are like the biggest attraction and expectation for Hunters Arena games?
일단 고사양의 화려한 그래픽을 볼 수 있는 게임인데 그렇다고 해서 저사양 PC를 마냥 천대하는 건 아니고 최대한 돌아갈 수 있도록 최적화 작업 중입니다.
So as you may have already heard if you visited our Steam page, the minimum spec requirements are currently disclosed on Steam, and in terms of comparing with the graphics that you saw, they're not that high, at least in our opinion. It's 8 gigabytes of RAM minimum required, 64-bit Windows 10 or 11, GeForce GTX 1050 Ti or Radeon RX 470, and 10 gigabytes of space. So those are the minimum specs required. What we're doing right now is kind of working hard to polish the game so that it'll work well with the minimum specs and it won't just run, kind of thing. We're trying to do our best to lower the specs in the future as well. And I think the best thing about Hunters Arena right now is the graphics, that it fits in these high specs, or in these minimum specs, I guess you could say. And we're trying to make the most use of the Unreal Engine that we're using. So we paid a lot of attention to the maps and the characters and, you know, the background and things like that. So in terms of the Web3 GameFi space, we feel that it's kind of, I guess you could say, the cream of the crop in terms of graphics for Web3 gaming right now. So since it is a game where action and battle comes to life, it also requires, you know, as you said, a high tension, various strategies and research. So it's a deep game as well. So along with the Web3, in addition to the extreme genre characteristics, the tension in the game at its peak, if you play hard, you'll become good at the game and you'll see a lot of results. But however, one mistake or one wrong move and you could immediately feel the consequences as well. So this type of tension that we're aiming for is we're aiming to overwhelm the users and keep everyone on their toes, not just make a passive game where you just kind of turn it on and play and let it go. So, but at the same time, with that being said, it doesn't matter if you're good at the game or not. You can still enjoy the game and the Web3 components that we think or we feel. The materials that you gather in the game will play a big role in the in-game economy, and it'll give you a feeling of small gains. So that's kind of what we're expecting in terms of the graphics and the expectations of the game.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I look forward to playing it. And I know you guys like have seen like many successes in Web2, building out AAA games. And like moving into Web3, I'm sure you guys been building the game itself for a while. But I also want to learn more about your plans? What kind of plans do you guys have for strengthening the Web3 community in BNB Chain?
So yeah, that's correct. We're constantly trying to bring an influx of users and have a large player pool. We think that's one of the most important aspects of the community, whether it be Web 2 or Web 3. With this demo day with you guys, the number of community users has increased already, but we're currently not satisfied with that. So we're doing our best to, I guess, strengthen both the external expansion and the substance of the community as well. And no matter how good a game looks, if there's no community to support it, the project can't succeed. And we're doing our best to strengthen this Web3 community by holding various events. We're adding partners who lead in the Web3 ecosystem, like BNB Chain, obviously. We're trying to strengthen collaboration with others as well, and then we're planning on keeping our communication line open with everyone through AMAs as well. So, and as you also know, that we enter the Steam and Epic ecosystem as well, and that has like hundreds of millions of users. That we did this to show that the game's not only meant for the Web3 audience, but for Web2 users as well. So we're going to continue into the Web2 market to bring in an influx of users, but we're eventually going to shift our target towards the Web3 to popularize it with them. So it's kind of a balancing game where we're trying to bring most users in. And I think,
just to add on, as you mentioned, we do come from a background of 12 million downloads for our Web2 title. So in order to kind of bridge the gap and bring those users into our ecosystem, we are exploring ways such as providing special items just for the gamers that used to play our game. And then once they onboard onto our game, our plan is to engage them into the gameplay and slowly convert them into Web3 users. So we're expecting actually our target is about 300K PAU. Yeah. And in order to do that, Web3 users alone is not going to do it. But our view is that our Web2 base users, if we are able to successfully convert them onboard them into our community, we are confident that we'll be able to turn them into Web3 users through smooth gameplay.
Yeah, that was Arid. He's our Web3 lead. So he kind of added on to what we had to say about that and kind of how we're bringing the Web3 community together.
Yeah, I totally agree. End of the day, the gamers are gamer, whether they're Web2 users or Web3 users. So having a balance between these two totally makes sense. But my next question is like I think you just mentioned the items, in-game items are NFTs. I'm curious, like how you guys plan to how can users get access to this? Is there going to be a minting phase, or is it going to be like a drop within the game, or both? Maybe you can tell our community a little bit more how to get hands on this.
So as of right now, in terms of items like weapons and armor in the game, the short answer is no. The items right now are classified into the game as game items, just like regular Web2 games. But however, what we could say is that we're in talks with a pretty big potential partner at the moment. And it appears that the items from this partnership will be converted into NFTs. So you may also be able to mint that, though it's not 100% exact at the moment. But after the partnership is complete, of course, we're gonna, delve into more details about that, and you'll be able to trade items comfortably and freely. And of course, the items exchange will be updated in the game as well. So, and then we're a game that aims for kind of a free Web3. And I don't know if Aaron wants to add more onto that.
Yeah. Just to add on, there are many metrics when evaluating the success of Web3 games. and of course, fun gameplay. And what we're actually focusing on is getting a lot of users, right? But at the same time, in order for a Web3 game to be successful, there has to be a lot of transactions on chain, right? And this is why we chose, out of many chains, we chose OPBNB, because it allows us to have this kind of like free, like very cheap transactions. So we're designing ways for to release NFT items later on, and actually on our portal, users will be able to freely trade them. But yeah, because we don't want to force Web3 onto users, we want them to play the game. We are not launching the NFT at first, but later on it'll be converted into NFTs, and you'll be able to trade them on our portal, where the Megalink token is exchanged as well. So one portal and one and the game separately.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I look forward to it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the questions I prepared. But if there's a last comment or message you want to share to our community, let's plug it in.
Quickly, as you might have, as we mentioned in the video, we're currently having an in-game event going on that's going to go live as of right now. There's both an in-game event and we're having an airdrop event. The in-game event, you could check the details on our official community channels like Discord, Twitter, especially on Steam. On our Steam platform, we have all the login events and all the events that are in-game that are going on right now. And on our Twitter and our Discord, you could check out all the airdrop events that are going on as well. So I think it's a good time for, Web2 users, Web3 users, any gamers to come in and, play the game for the next few days and experience what we've been working on. And, we hope to get some positive feedback. And we just want to thank everyone for their time to take the time out of their day to listen to us and, spend time with us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I really enjoyed this session.
Yeah, and lastly, it's for you, Jong, and Walter. Thank you for setting this up.
Exactly.
And for the BNB users as well, our goal is to bring the next blockbuster games onto the BNB chain. That's our goal. And in order to accomplish that, we're gonna focus on attracting as many users as possible and giving them fun gameplay without forcing Web3 elements. And we are very excited to be onboarded onto the BNB ecosystem. And thank you guys so much for helping set this up. And we look forward to releasing our games onto your chain and making them
Sounds good. Let's build together.
Exactly.
I think that's about it for this Game on BNB session. I hope everyone in the audience enjoyed it, and let's conclude here.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time.